Subscribe for the very latest.
Bye, Daddy.
Chord Room, more than a podcast.
You know who I blame the most? I blame Cat Williams. This mofo told us at the beginning of the year this shit was gonna happen.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's been Cat Williams. It's been Cat Williams energy / Jaguar Wright energy all year,
bro.
She did say some stuff, didn't she? She did say
it's like a quarter, bro. It's like everything. Yeah. If it ain't, I don't know what this black Air Force energy going on around here, but
but you know, it's sometimes it has to happen though. It has to happen, man.
Is that the circle of life we're talking about? We just gotta.
No, it's not. It's not the circle of life. It's the cleansing. Some things need. You know, I'm a believer of just, you know, everything got to be on the surface, man. And for far too long, Diddy's been doing stuff like this for far too long, man.
What's done in the dark will come into the light. What's done in the dark will come into the light.
I think we just at the tip of the iceberg. Pause. I think there's.
I don't even want to know what's
not just him.
Yeah, no.
I don't think. I don't think
there's others. There's others. It's just that for some reason, this is just my speculations. Whatever I say, this is just my only comments. I don't take the whole voice of the Chord Room. This is my stuff. But I either think that either whatever kind of ritual thing that they play around with, or he pissed the wrong person off and his stuff came out. That's just me.
Damn. Listen, man. That's between them. Hey, you know, Diddy gonna be in that court. He said, "This is bigger than Nino Brown."
Yo, yeah. Yo, he gonna point right at Jay-Z.
Right.
Sean Carter. Sean Carter. He's the real international bad boy.
he's the real one that ran the Carter. Sean Carter. He the one that ran the Carter.
Not Sean Carter. Sean Carter.
Right.
So who gonna be the old man that shoot him at the end? Who gonna be that dude?
Hey,
wow, y'all really taking it. Y'all really taking it there.
Hey,
y'all really
it might be Jaguar Wright. It might not be an old man. It might be Jaguar Wright.
Trent, I'm telling you, they gonna make a meme as soon as because who did Jaguar Wright say? She said Jay-Z on deck, right?
She did say Jay-Z.
That's what she said. Yo, man.
She said Jay-Z.
And hey, Diddy, that apology was weak.
It definitely was weak. I saw the devil all over his face. You know what? I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry.
Exactly. Like I don't buy that one bit.
Yeah, nah. But you know, hey, I ain't gonna. Listen, I just had to say it because it was on my mind. But I'm just, you know, I'm just really disgusted. I am. But anyway, let's get into some sneakers, man. Shout out to everybody who be on those sneaker, you know, videos that we do, you know, posting, saying that, you know, what sneakers they like and don't like. Now today is my first time I'm gonna be using the share option on StreamYard, so y'all bear with me. I'm gonna try this out today. So we're gonna see, since you know, shout out to my New Yorkers, man. Hey, I'm not a Knicks fan, but I rock with New York. You know what I mean? In the NBA, I don't have a fan, but I'm sorry, a favorite player. But I am a fan of the Knicks and the Indiana Pacers series. And I'm talking about like when Ewing, when who else was in it? Starks, Anthony Mason. Like they was squatted up back then. I missed that. So in paying homage to that, we're gonna talk about in the segment Kicking It. Basically, we just talk about sneakers that we like. Some of them be ugly. Some of them, you know, they are sneakers that are that we all love and adore. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about these. I want to talk about the Ewings. We're going to talk about the Ewings today. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, the Ewings are special to me because those are one of those sneakers I remember my mother scraped and saved for those. And she didn't even wrap them. She walked in the house, I was playing on the floor. She walked in the house, dropped them where I was playing on the floor, and said, "Don't ask me for nothing in life again."
Wow.
That's exactly what she said. I will never forget it.
Do you remember how old you were at the time?
I was in the 5th grade, I think. Yeah, I was in the 5th grade. So I was probably, what is that? What is 5th grade?
10, 11.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Now this is back when they made real suede. Like, so these were the suede. Cause you know that suede now was like you can go in the rain with some of those suede sneakers, right? They like almost like waterproof, but these is real suede, orange and blue. The Knick color Ewings, the one there was exact ones I wanted. The exact ones I don't know how she knew because I didn't tell her what color to get, but the exact ones I wanted. And back then. You know, people used to hate. People was trying to step on my sneakers and all of that. It was crazy. I rocked them proudly. But I want to talk about them. First of all, before we get started with the sneaker, though, I want to talk about the player. Chuck dropped off. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. But I want to talk about Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing to me, he's a warrior. A Jamaican warrior.
Yeah.
He played to probably some of the worst knees in NBA history. He had to have them. Like, not every play he was icing his knees, man. But he didn't low manage.
How old was what was his he wasn't that old at the time.
He got drafted in Jordan's year, I think.
Yeah. So he was younger than Jordan.
Yeah, like he's drafted in. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was 20. He had to be like in his 20s.
Dang, bad knees around that time in the 20s.
Maybe at this time he probably in his 30s. At this time, he might have been in his 30s at this time.
Because NBA wise, that 30s is considered old, ain't it? I mean, that's like you hit your 30s, like you almost like at the prime. 35 is like you got to be out of there.
Well, you got to take into consideration that all your life you've been running down this hardwood floor.
Yeah,
all your life.
I'll do it. Right? I'll do it to you.
We talking about from a kid all the way up to all the way up to an adult, right? So your knees are already. Your knees is probably like 30 years old coming into the league. You probably knocked off 10 years off your knees anyway. So, some people just have, when you have back issues, maybe, you might have something like that. Sometimes that trickles down to everything else. So, but Ewing played through. What do you when you look at Patrick Ewing and his career? What are we talking about? What do you think about?
Chuck.
Yeah, what's up, Chuck, man? But yeah, I always think that definitely he put his all into that court, man. I think he was one of the type of players that he wasn't gonna let whatever stop him. Just like he was icing his knees up almost every play, he wasn't gonna let nothing stop him from doing what he came out there to do. So he was definitely a hard player, and sometimes I don't think that they give him his just due as a player when they talk about like greats. I think they miss over Patrick a lot, and I think the thing that has lasted long is it's still his sneakers to this day. But I don't think that they really give him his just due like they do when they start talking about like greats like LeBron and Jordan and so forth.
I mean that there's his levels of greatness, right? What you think about that? We'll talk about that.
So I'll talk about the player first. As far as the player goes, in the 90s, Patrick Ewing. I mean, all right. So overall, Patrick Ewing is the greatest Knick of all time. When we speak of in total of everything, yes, Chuck. The only reason why I'm giving it to him, Chuck, is because no one played for the Knicks longer than Patrick Ewing. and no one has the scoring records and put in more time and work for the Knicks than Patrick Ewing. And as far as Patrick Ewing, when y'all was talking about the injuries goes, Patrick Ewing did not have the greatest supporting cast. Well, okay, I would say the right supporting cast in order for him to win a ring. Patrick Ewing didn't have the next best guy on Patrick Ewing's team was not a superstar, was not a Hall of Fame, was not somebody who was considered a legendary player. The Knicks had a great team in the early 90s. They had a great team, but Patrick was the lone superstar on the team. And when you're the lone superstar, I think I spoke about this last time, the tax on your body is heavy when you're the lone superstar on the team.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
When we talk about the other great Knicks, and it's unfortunate what happened with Patrick Ewing, because the year he got drafted, my fault, it was the next year. Michael got drafted 84, Patrick got drafted 85. But Bernard King was killing on the Knicks back in 84, and he just had that ACL tear. And him and Patrick were supposed to team up.
Oh,
they drafted him the next year, but they gave up on Bernard King. Bernard King went on to become an all-star again. But they gave up on Bernard King. And Patrick Ewing, I don't know. It's not me, though.
Not me either.
All right, go ahead. I'm hopefully it clear up.
But yeah, I give it to Patrick Ewing. He's not even my favorite Knick of all time, but I give it to him because he put in crazy work. And as far as like just his regard as a player in the 90s, if we're just talking about like just how good he wasn't the best center. I give it to Hakeem Olajuwon. Would I say he's the second best? You could argue it, even though people will say David Robinson. You could argue it. I think you could argue it.
That's a that. Go ahead, man. I'm a bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. But I'm a rock with Patrick Ewing. Maybe it's Knicks bias, but I'm going with Patrick Ewing. I'm going with Patrick.
That's hey Chuck, that's crazy. Yo, there's so many great centers. There's so many great centers, man.
Yeah, that's tough. That's
Chuck,
tough, man.
You got headphones? Chuck, you got headphones? Or are those the only ones you got? I think
Right.
that's you.
Yeah.
Is it me?
I think that's Chuck. But go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah. What was the question? I just
So basically, we just talking about Patrick Ewing.
Oh, okay.
We talking about so basically, he's Chuck. I mean, Walt said he what you said, he's the second best center.
I said Nick. I said
Nick.
he's the best Nick, but in the 90s, I think he's the best. In the 90s, I think he's the second best center of the 90s. But I think he's the best Nick. Yeah.
Second best center in the 90s. Wow, that I never heard anybody say that. What you think about that, Chuck?
Wow, that's a wild. I mean,
he gonna say
it sounds wild initially. Then you kind of sit on it like, I mean, you could technically make an argument for it, but you're right. Patrick Ewing is definitely he doesn't get enough credit for what he actually did for the New York Knicks during that time frame. Like Walt said, he didn't have necessarily the most balanced roster for majority of his tenure. I mean, he did have decent point guard play at times. That might be a stretch. A lot of quote unquote thuggery around him for the power forward position. But somebody that's, to have like a quote unquote true number two that you can just like, all right, if I had to get out the game, this person can carry the load until I come back in the game. If I'm out for a while, he didn't necessarily have that. But I think Patrick, I mean, as far as the 90s, I don't think I can put him second because, I mean.
Don't give it to David?
I mean, even if you think about the '90s, you literally got to go through that laundry list. You like, okay, I got Olajuwon, I got Shaq out there.
Oh, we counting Shaq. All right, my bad. I mean,
that's what I was wondering if you count Shaq or not. Because
if we count Shaq, then nah. But the reason why I don't count Shaq like that is because, like, I mean, they did beat them. Well, no, they did. Orlando beat the Knicks to get to the finals, right?
Yes,
they did. Yeah, to go up against Olajuwon. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think Shaq's Orlando years alone are better than Patrick Ewing's Knicks years?
No.
Oh.
But then I got to count out the Lakers the years, like, because he was with the Lakers from '96 to 2000.
I'm saying he won all his rings in the 2000s. Oh no, you saying Shaq? Yeah, Shaq went to the Lakers and won 96.
Yep,
96, 97. Yeah. I see it.
He didn't win no rings. He didn't win no rings at Orlando, did he? He didn't win no rings in Orlando.
No. He got drafted what? 93, 92,
92. I want to say 92.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 92.
I mean,
that's fair. That's valid. I see it.
I mean, you definitely. I mean, you know, the York Knicks is gonna argue down. They gonna argue down on now. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I think David had a slightly higher ceiling than Patrick. I mean, you think David put up 71 points in the game?
Yo, that was nuts.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
I'm not.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And David got an MVP. He got an MVP. I'm just saying, man. When I look at between the two, who would you rather have?
Talking about the Admiral? The Admiral?
The Admiral or Patrick Ewing. Who you pick? It's your draft. It's your draft.
I'm going with the military. Whatever. I'm going with the military.
I like Patrick, bro.
Patrick's definitely the hardest working center.
Yeah,
like he to get where he was in his career, he had to work 20 times harder than all those centers.
He just said he didn't have that much the best talent around him. So imagine if he did have the necessary talent, he would have been greater than what he was. But for the fact that he had to make up for what he didn't have.
That's what gives Hakeem Olajuwon the clear cut. Because Hakeem Olajuwon, he won his first ring, and his next best player was like
Glide, right?
Nah, that's the second ring.
Okay.
So his first ring, it was his next best player is arguably Kenny Smith. And I'm not saying he wasn't a good player. He was a good player, but he wasn't no star. Right. And I'm saying Patrick Ewing. I mean, I love John Starks. But
John Starks wasn't even drafted. He wasn't even drafted, was he?
No, but I'm saying when he had a tenure with the Knicks, like most of
what I'm saying, did they draft him? Or was he like undrafted?
Or was he traded? Oh, snap.
He was traded. I think he was undrafted, though. I thought he was undrafted.
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, John Starks is probably the next most recognizable throughout the 90s, next to maybe Grandmama.
Mason.
Yeah, exactly. And Anthony Mason.
Yo, Anthony Mason averaged like 4 points a game. RP to the homie, though.
Don't matter.
He was out there bullying them, but
when Hakeem won that first ring, that's the thing that solidifies him. Like, David Robinson don't win a ring until he gets Tim Duncan. And I'm saying, when we talking about everybody really got their ring, except Hakeem in that one ring. Everybody got their rings next to somebody. Even Shaq. Shaq was playing next to Penny. Like, he was playing next to Penny Hardaway. We was talking about how great he was.
And Kobe.
And Kobe and D Wade. And I'm saying Patrick Ewing didn't get that love. Like, Patrick Ewing got to play next to Latrell Sprewell at the tail end of his career. And they went to the finals. with him and Allen Houston.
Allen Houston was cold.
Yeah, then he went to Orlando.
Yeah.
I don't even count them years. I don't even.
Oh, that was so sad, man.
That was tragic. Like once he got to Orlando, I thought, oh yeah, he was just getting a check at that point. He's like, this. It was over. It was.
But he had a wonderful career, man. He played on an Olympic team, Dream Team.
Facts. Dream Team.
You know what I mean? Dream Team. You know, I was proud. Like, I think we before that we wasn't doing nothing in the Olympics, right?
We was killing. We've been killing.
Okay.
We was killing because we were sending college teams, but we lost.
Yeah.
We lost
in '88.
We lost, and they was like, "All right, we done doing that. Like, send the pro."
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. But you know what we have to do? We got to talk about the Dream Team. Like, I think we do a segment on the Dream Team because, you know, it's still that mystery of like, you know, why when we
Isaiah won on it.
Yeah, we kind of know why Isaiah wasn't on it, but do we really
know why?
That? But you know, I'm just
nobody.
saying,
He had an attitude, man.
Nah, Jordan.
No. You know, him and Jordan got beat.
That was the attitude.
Jordan was like, nah, chill, son. Nah.
You know Jordan.
Right. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you when they came to Jordan. Jordan was like, what's dude's name? Remember Eddie Kendrick from the Temptations? He said, hey, if he on that stage, I ain't on that stage.
You know they ain't
on that stage.
You know,
I ain't coming
whatever
to that
whatever Jordan said, whatever Jordan said went and goes because Jordan was the star, so they was gonna listen to Jordan.
They had to get Jordan.
He was the lead. He was the leader.
If he said no to Isaiah, they was gonna put him up there.
He was definitely the new logo. He was definitely the new logo of the NBA for sure. But
I was like, because I'm like, how you gonna put John Stockton over goddamn Isaiah? Like, this shit don't make no sense.
That Christian Laettner one irked me. That's what I
that was the rules, though. That was the rule.
I know.
You had to have, yeah.
But that's still though. That Christian Laettner one did. I'm like, nah. I didn't like that. I did not like that at all, man.
Deeper than rap, graffiti, break dancing, DJ and b-boy stance, MCing. I harness those artifacts, collecting data of the transitions like an almanac. Hip hop ain't dead, these young boys different, adapting over time. Every day the world's spinning. Let's celebrate the fact we still winning. We global. Kids from the project became moguls. Real to real track boards to Pro Tools, vinyls, cassettes, and the tape decks, CDs. Now you can stream your music to the consumer direct and get most of the check. I'm noble, and with that, I gotta respect that you ain't gotta accept that you can ride and get left, yo. Bars beyond ground level.